December 1st, 2025 is a massive, massive day. Today, the Fed stopped quantitative tightening and start quantitative easing. I left the traditional banking system in 2017, and I decided to go completely against the model. And I'm going to share with you what I did, how I did it, and how it worked. Now, of course, all I'm doing is sharing my journey with you guys, documenting exactly what I'm doing. But there's current macro and microeconomic triggers and things that I look at, not emotion, not hype, but facts, figures, numbers, logic that allow me to make my decisions. The old 60-40 is dead. 60% stocks, 40% bonds. Guys, this is not our grandparents' or our parents' economy. So today, December 1st, 2025, they stop quantitative tightening and they start printing. They're going to start printing in an economy in America that has 38 trillion in debt. As we sit today, it's 121% debt to income ratio. What that means is we have way more debt than we have income in America. So if you're going to start printing money when you have more debt than you have income, and you're going to bring rates way down to monetize more debt, only one thing can happen is your dollar, which is debt, there's no backing, becomes worth less. Hint number one on how I created my strategy is your job is to beat the inflationary dollar. That's your number one job. I don't care what you invest in. Because what happens is as your dollar gets worth less, the only option you have is to refinance your debt to create more cash flow, which is actually debt. Let's call it income because it's not cash flow. Cash flow is when you make money while you sleep and you take the cash flow and you transmit it into assets that actually beat inflation because cash is actual trash. So today they stop tightening, they start printing. The dollar is going to continue to become worth less if they bring rates down as low as possible. So here's how I did it. Is number one, I work to create cash flow every single time I get paid. So my last bull run, I didn't buy Lambos, watches, big houses. I bought and created cash flow. I built and scaled my companies, used a cash flow quadrant, scaled myself into leading and created more income. And then with the income, I take 10% of it. This is C in my Capital DR strategy. And I put it into cash generating dividends, Warren Buffett style. So I have businesses where I trade time for money, active income. When I get paid the income, I take 10% of the income and I put it into dividends that pay me passively 24 hours a day. I also created companies that have MRR, monthly recurring revenue. So your goal is to take your income and immediately create more cash flow, brother and sister, richest man in Babylon. So when the cash flow comes in, income from active income and passive income, like today is Monday, my dividends pay me. I move it into into assets. I don't store it in the US dollar or any fiat currency that continues to get debased and becomes inflationary. It's not that things are getting more expensive, your dollar's becoming worth less. So I transmute my addition outside of debts and non-negotiables and bills into assets that have fixed supply. Hence why Bitcoin has become so popular. One of the largest asset managers in the world, BlackRock, it is their number one revenue producer now, Bitcoin, IBIT. Hence why the Trump family has made more wealth in cryptocurrency and will make more wealth in cryptocurrency in the next 24 months than they made their whole real estate empire. These are fixed supply assets that are moving us into the new monetary system. No gatekeeping. I'm going to share with you what my top are, not financial advice, just being honest and open with you guys. I'm going to share my thesis. So my top assets by 2030 will be XRP by a long shot, both company and personally. Next is BTC. Next is WL as in Larry, FI, World Liberty Financial. And I'm stacking American Bitcoin, which is on the stock side. So here's my thesis. XRP is the bridge currency that is going to radically transform the liquidity crisis around the world. Number two is Bitcoin, a store of value like gold. I'm not going to get my biggest bang for my buck, but 50% every year and beating every single market over the last 10 years is pretty attractive. So that's where I store my money. And I buy Bitcoin every day, just a little bit every day. I buy a little bit of XRP every day, dollar cost average. WFI was a new entry about, I think, 8 months ago. Don't quote me on this, about 8 months ago. And that's my most speculative. The DeFi platform isn't launched yet, but it's the investment in the future monetary system, DeFi, World Liberty Financial, USD1, stablecoins that are outside of the central bank, and Trump is writing the rules. Witkoff is writing the rules. Their sons run the bank, and it's a people's bank. It's opposite of what we're currently experiencing that destroyed our monetary system in America. So that would be a speculative asset, but I'm a betting man on that one, and I'm going in. And American Bitcoin gives me the picks and shovels. So Eric Trump created American Bitcoin, which is on the stock side. And they went from 0 Bitcoin in April to 5 or 4,000 Bitcoin already. Do the math by mining Bitcoin. So I own the Rails XRP. I own the Bitcoin, the gold. I own WLFI, the new decentralized platform, the new world bank that the Trump family's creating, and American Bitcoin, the picks and shovels. So you're mining the gold, you own the rails that move the value, and you own a piece of the new system that is being created because the old one's broken. And then P, when I profit from these assets besides Bitcoin, I'm holding it forever, I put it into cash value life insurance. I exit. I pull profits. I think it's silly to watch it go up and go down. I built a moat around my ecosystem. I'm a Warren Buffett style investor. Protection, protection, protection. Warren Buffett's favorite investment is insurance. It's one of my favorite investments as well. So when I profit, the first thing I do is I stuff money into my cash value life insurance. These need to be funded properly. They need to be structured properly, and they're being sold as retirement policies. They're not retirement policies. They're cash value life insurance. They need cash in them. You need to max fund them. And the reason why the industry gets a bad rap, they're structured incorrectly. They're not taught to be funded correctly, and the agent sets it up and never calls you again. These are like Lamborghinis. You need to drive them and put proper gas in them. They need cash in them. They're cash value life insurance. So I do it for permanent life insurance. I do it for protection of my family. Nobody can touch my insurance. So my wealth is actually my profits. My principal is insured. When the markets come collapsing down, there will be a market collapse, guys. They always will be. There's 32 major market collapses in the last 200 years since market's been created. It's not different this time. So when the markets come crumbling down, my principal's protected. And I have a family bank. I can leverage capital DR. And I can leverage against my policy at very low interest, other people's money, the insurance company's money, and I can buy what? More assets when they come collapsing down. And then I can ride it out till the green comes back, and now I have free assets because I can pay it off with the profits. Oop. And DR, de-risk, de-risk, de-risk. I de-risk out of high return dividends, and I de-risk into Bitcoin and XRP, and now American Bitcoin. When my assets are in profit, I de-risk some off the table, get the initial investment out, and I get some out into protection. Don't be a rubbernecker. Don't watch it go up and go down. Build a moat around your family, richest man in Babylon. But this is how winning is done. And this is the reality you're facing. It's not different this time, just different tools, different resources. The 1% will remain the 1% until you start to understand how the 1% thinks, operates, and sets up their ecosystem. So I hope this helps. December 1st today, they stop quantitative tightening and they turn that printing machine on full blast, making your dollar worth less. Warriors, rise! Get your shit together. God bless you. Love you guys.